All right, guys, nerding out on tools, something fun and new just because I like nerding out on tools. So, talking about tape measures and all the little idiosyncrasy things that I think about with it. So, a lot of times we're using the Milwaukee 25 foots. We've got the wide blade on there. And one of the reasons why I like it is it's double-sided. This is kind of something that's dumb, but I like it where if I'm measuring something, especially to a beam up high, measuring it for a customer, I'm looking from this side, but you guys can also see the tape measure. So there's other tape measures, like if we get a Stanley, where you can't see it on the other side. So Stanleys are known for being super reliable tape measures that you can use for a long time, which is great. My thing is, I'm not a huge fan of how it's got the smaller grip on there, and then also it just feels a little more shaky than the Milwaukee. Now, as we're getting into, we've got DeWalt's, which are great. They're going to be very similar. I still feel like they're the clip up front isn't as large. The nice part is, at this one, we have the measurements on the other side. This one, it doesn't matter as much, but something that you don't have on the DeWalt that you do have on the Milwaukee is going to be this scale right here, which you can use for plans because it'll lay out a 1/4 inch scale or an 1/8 inch scale coming from the other side. So do we use it often? Not really. Does it come in handy every once in a while? Absolutely. So that's one of the things that I really like about it. I'm going to be shilling for this over and over, just so you know. One of the things that I hate, and this is a Milwaukee thing, some guys do love it though, is the auto lock. So you pull the tape measure out, it stays right there. To get it to retract, you push the button and there it goes. So that way you can pick it up and you're not worried about having to keep your hand on it the entire time. For me, I look at it just as an experience thing, that they have this part right here on the tape measure that you can keep your finger right there or even your middle finger, so that as I pull it out, I just grab it, or I can grab it with my index finger up here. So it's one of those, I don't need an automatic lock. If I want to lock it, I lock it right there, and then it gets retracted, and then we move on. Now, if we want to start talking about things that are way over the top, we've got the tape measures with lights on them, so you can get the flashlight and everything. But if you need a flashlight like that, if you're working in an attic, I guess this would make a lot of sense. We're not typically doing that, so I guess if I'm thinking about going in an attic again, working on that more, we could get that. Let's see, what else do we got? Stanley Fat Maxes. Let's see, are these double-sided? Nope, still. It's going to be larger than our Power Locks over here. It's going to be similar to your DeWalt and your Milwaukee because it's got more of that rubberized grip on there. It's more comfortable. It's the wider blade, which I'm partial to. It's probably the same. It's a little bigger than the DeWalt, but nothing on that side. And just not my thing. So for some guys, they're gonna like it. It is a 35 footer too. So 35 footers are harder to work with. I love working with 25s rather than 16s or 35s. I will say, I do love 16s because they are a little smaller and it's nice to just grab it. It feels really comfortable in the hand. But a lot of times we're working with things that are more than 16 feet, or they're gonna be approaching 16 feet. And by the time that you get to the end of that tape measure, you can start feeling the tension in there that it's like, hey, don't pull too hard, you might break me. So that's why I like 25s. 35s, a lot of times I feel like it just starts to become, I've used it before, I've worked with them before, it just becomes a lot heavier, more of a pain in the butt to deal with, but still good tape measures. Also, if you're on a large scale project, you're gonna wanna almost get a 35-foot tape measure, because then you kind of become big dog on campus that, oh, you've got to stop at 25, I'm going to keep going, and stuff like that. You become the guy who could start to measure things. And that's why I got a 35-foot tape measure back in the day. So, what else do we got? Oh, we need to really talk about, talk about these guys first. This is gonna be the ultimate tape measure, okay? You've got all your inches. They even have centimeters on the other side. You can oh, let's get that. and then you can clip it to your keychain. So if you want to just tell everyone in the whole world, I'm cool, I can measure things you can't, even though it's way too small, the clip's too small, you don't have the double-sided, this is the ultimate tape measure for you right there. And right now, it's less than $7 at this particular Home Depot at this particular time. And then if you really are more of a Stanley man, you got Stanley, but they don't have centimeters, but they do have a larger. We're getting into the weeds too much. Anyways, one of the things that I do like are the Husky tape measures and this is gonna be more for the newer guys, because you'll be able to see they've got a lot of the hash marks on there for 1/8, quarter, 3/8, half. A lot of times when someone is new to the trades, they're not as up to speed on all the hash marks and what each one is. One of the things that Ethan pointed out as well is that the ones that I absolutely hate and just skipped over as well have those hash marks on there, but we should never ever in 1,000 years give this to the new guy, because they will start to like auto locks. Why? Because that's all they've gotten to know. So we will always say no to those. Get the Husky tape measures so they can use the cheater marks off there. Eventually we want to graduate them off of that and then just move them to something like Milwaukee or these guys. Now, Stanley high visibility, this is going to be an auto lock, so I don't like it. It's got a thinner claw up front on there. The tape isn't as smooth, all that stuff. One of the things that is kind of, like I said, I'm going to shill for this over and over. One of the things I do like about the Milwaukees is they have more of that gloss coating on there, and it feels like it's, as I run a tape back, usually my finger's right here, so I can't always grab it. So it just feels nicer because it is smoother running it all the way back. This one is newer, and I'm not sure what's different about it, except for it's called their stud and it's got the green thing up front, but for the most part it's got all the same things on there. One of the big things that I do like, and I typically don't get ones like this, is I like to get the ones with magnets on it, and this one doesn't even have a magnet. It's supposed to. They're lying. It says magnetic. We'll look at this one. I typically like the magnetic ones because you can have like corner bead drywall that you can hook it to and pull it out from there. So it's just one of those small stupid things. If you're doing commercial, it can stick to it. I have no idea. This one's magnetic. I don't know where these are from then. These are the ones that we like. They've got the wider blade, they're magnetic, all the things we've talked about. So, anyways, I think that's all the tape measures over here. And I think that's all my thoughts on tape measures for the most part, except for when we're on a job site, we've now made a rule at work that if you get caught without your tape measure, it's 10 push-ups. So, anyways, you guys have a great day. If we do more of these, I'll enjoy it because I enjoy nerding out on all the little stupid things with the tools that I love. So we'll see you then.